Hi there, welcome to GeeklyEDU Math. In this video, we solve logarithmic equations. Solving two equations, we're going to take a look at two equations which we're going to solve, and I'm sure that you'll feel more confident in solving similar problems. The exponential function is the inverse of the logarithmic function. So both are inverses of each other. And so now taking a look at the exponential form written in the form number y is equal to base a to the exponent x, we can write this in log form as follows. We can say log of the number, which is y, to the base a. That would be equal to the exponent of x. So that's how we go from exponential form to logarithmic form. And log form is actually quite helpful to solve for a variable which is an exponent, which is not so obvious to solve. So now that we have an understanding of these two forms, we can now move on into solving log equations. So the first equation we have here is a log equation of 1 plus log number 5 to base x is equal to log number 5 to base 1 over x. We are going to rewrite this as 1 plus log number 5 to base x is equal to, now here we're going to change the space using a rule of logarithm. So this is going to become negative log 5 base x. And so now we can take this negative 5 log, or rather this negative log 5 base x to the left hand side. So we're going to be having 1 plus log 5x, add, it was a negative on the right hand side, it becomes a positive log 5x. And we are left with 0. So combining these two give us a 2. So we have 1 plus 2 log of 5x is equal to 0. Now from this point there are two ways of doing this. So first of all, let's take this one over. So we're going to be having a 2 log 5x is equal to negative 1. Now after taking the 2 to make it an exponent of the 5, we can take this to exponential form. So we'll be having log 5 to the power of 2 base x is equal to negative 1. So let's take this to exponential form. So we have log of the number. So the number is 5 to the power of 2 is equal to, the base is x, and the exponent is negative 1. So that's what we took a look at there. So now let's just simply solve for x. So, well, what is this going to give us? Well, we have x to the power of negative 1 is 1 over x, and this would be a 25. And now switching these two, the 1 and the x, putting the x on top, we'll have x over 1, which is just the x, and we'll have to get the reciprocal of the 25 as well. So this would be 1 over 25. So that would be the solution there. But here's another way of looking at it from this step onwards. So you can choose which method is convenient for you. So we had up until this point the log of 5 to the power of 2 base x is equal to negative 1. So we can write logs on both sides. So the right hand side we can write log xx, and this negative 1, which was just before the log xx, will go to the power there. So now since you have two log xx's on both sides, well, you can just get rid of them. And what are you left with? You're left with 5 to the power of 2 is equal to x to the power of negative 1, which is exactly as this step. And then of course carry on the same, you will get x is equal to 1 over 25. Right, so I hope you enjoyed looking at this log equation. Now we're going to take a look at a second log equation. Right, so log x minus log 3 is equal to log x minus 3. So let's first take a look at the restriction here. we see, as per the definition of log, x must be greater than 0, as well as x minus 3 must be greater than 0, meaning that x must be greater than 3. So we can go right ahead into solving this equation. Now, taking a look at this minus here tells us we need to divide, so we're going to be having log of x over 3 is equal to log of x minus 3. And now, since we have log on both sides, we're going to forget about that. So we're going to have x over 3 is equal to x minus 3. Multiplying the 3 on both sides, you have 3 multiplied by x minus 3. You're going to be having x is equal to 3x minus 9. And taking the x's over to the right-hand side, you'll be left with a 2x, and the negative 9 over to the left-hand side, you'll have a 9. So what does this simplify to? Well, we see that x is equal to 9 over 2, or just 4.5. And indeed, looking at our restriction on top there, 4.5 is greater than 0 and greater than 3. So this is the correct answer. So I hope you enjoyed looking at these log equations. That's all for now, solving logarithmic equations. I encourage you to subscribe to GeeklyEDU to watch other videos of many other topics which you might be interested in. Thank you.